I'm happy to report Laco has given us another limited edition of the Laco Augsburg and Aachen, this time though on a bracelet. Welcome back to the channel for Right Time Watches here in Denver, Colorado. This is a particularly exciting video because you already know I love these watches. I think the Type A and B Flieger watches at an affordable price from Laco are a total hit, and these ones come supplied on a pretty decent bracelet as a nice twist. Before we dig into all those details though, we'll invite you to subscribe to the channel so you catch all of our upcoming videos. Both these watches are 42 millimeters in diameter with a 50 millimeter lug to lug. It's 12 millimeters thick and powered by a Miyota 8000 series automatic movement, modified by Laco. Up to this point, we've seen a handful of iterations of these amazing Augsburg and Aachen watches from Laco. The Type A and Type B Flieger dials both carry the same case shape and overall design with a unique dial layout for each. We've previously seen some olive, taupe, and blue versions from the brand, and most recently a white. But this one is a very unique and interesting look because it's a very flat, matte gray, and I think it looks incredible. This is not a dial color that you see particularly often, but I think it works quite well, especially with the white numerals and indices surrounding and those blued hands. It creates a somewhat monochromatic look as it blends in a little bit with the steel on these watches, but I think the look is great. Either direction that you lean, either the Type A or the Type B, you'll find something that you like from Laco. Obviously, I mentioned before that these come on a bracelet, which is different for the brand. Primarily, these pilot watches have come supplied on a leather riveted strap in the past. I really appreciate the way that this looks and the way that it feels. The metal finishing here is very quality for the price point, especially this bracelet. The steel is primarily satin, it looks great, and I always love that big onion-style pilot crown. The bracelet tapers down pretty quickly, though it does extend just a hair beyond that lug-to-lug distance. Depending on lighting and situation, it becomes easier or harder to see those blued hands, but when the light does reflect just right, it's a wonderful addition to the dial layout and the coloration on this watch. One other notable feature is that Laco takes these typically non-hacking watches and adds a hacking seconds function to the movement. The bracelet feels quite substantial. The quality is definitely there, especially given the price point. It's got a nice Laco signed fold over here on the deployant clasp, and it is milled. The movement is visible through the see-through caseback. I know a see-through caseback with an affordable movement can sometimes be controversial, but if you ask me, I actually find this movement to be quite good looking. It's got a solid power reserve, pretty good accuracy, and like I said, upgraded to have that hacking seconds function. The lume on these dials is a huge selling point of these watches for me. It's extremely legible in both daytime and nighttime conditions. This 42mm beauty wears extremely well on my 8-inch wrist. As you can see on either end of that 50mm lug-to-lug, there is tons of space if you've got a smaller wrist than my own. This one is quite substantial with that metal bracelet on it, so if you are a little worried about the weight, I recommend that you try this one on in person if you can. Overall, I really appreciate the way that these wear. They feel great and more expensive than they are. At $560 US, I think these are a steal. I always appreciate these Laco watches, especially considering their price point, but this one being supplied on a high quality bracelet in addition really adds some fun to the equation. If you prefer the leather look, you can always swap it out, just like you would with any other watch, but for me, I think that this one wears great on this metal bracelet. These watches are great looking, fun, and affordable, and I think Laco has the market cornered here. If you'd like to purchase one of these watches, please visit us at righttime.com or give us a call. We're always happy to help. As always, thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you next time at Right Time.